he earned a reputation in the medical community. He joined the Red Cross, gave lectures and held seminars. At one of the sessions, he met Mina Minic, a Serb painter who was practicing alternative medicine.
My grandpa used to sit here, and this was his desk. This is where he received patients. Whenever Dr. Dabić came round, he was here too. He used this computer. He and Grandpa were co-writing a book about alternative medicine. When Dabić stayed here well into the night, he slept in this room on the couch.
Mina Minic, a healer with extrasensory powers, badly needed advice from a professional physician. The two men spent a lot of time working together. They gave treatment to sick people, and they hoped they would be able to complete that book together. Mina Minic even offered Dr. Dabić to move into his house.
The house was under construction. The top floor was still missing. I was going to accommodate him on that floor with those two windows as soon as it was ready.
Those plans never came to fruition. After mid-July 2008, Mina Minic and Dragan Dabić never saw each other again.
Once Mina invited me to attend one of his sessions. It was past 1 o'clock in the morning when the session was over. Mina asked me to take Dr. Dabić to his house in my car. I was going the same way.
Velimir and Dr. Dabić became fast friends. Velimir often took Dabić home in his car. They would talk throughout the drive. He shared his problems with a professional psychologist.
Dragan was always ready to help the people he knew. He always did his best to help, but I don't think he ever asked for help. At least I never heard such requests from him. I always paused at this traffic light. He would get out of the car and walk away. I never even saw the house where he lived.
Dr. Dabić's unusual style made him stand out in a crowd. But people who saw that man never suspected that he had a $5 million bounty on his head.
Dabić lived in this flat. I lived on the ground floor. I recall that when my father died, he met me at the entrance to the house and gave me his visiting card with D.D. Dabić written on it. He said he was a psychotherapist and offered help. I invited him to come to my flat for a cup of coffee. I felt relieved after talking to him.
Radován Karadžić never dyed his hair, nor did he ever have plastic surgery. His only disguise was that of old age, grey hair and a long beard.
I always thought that the man who often came here was Dr. Dabić, not Radován Karadić. His appearance and behavior betrayed his great intellect. As a rule, he would buy one apple and one pear and one pepper. I thought it was very odd, but that's exactly what attracted my attention. Besides his appearance, he was very extravagant. His house was nearby. I also know that he often sat here, just outside the Luda Kuća cafe.
Initially, he bought stuff in the shop across the road. His unusual appearance marked him out in the crowd. Later, he began visiting my cafe too. Whenever Dabić heard guests playing the psaltery, he dropped in to listen. He's a very affable man. He would always ask for permission to take a seat. If he found himself in good company, he would always thank each guest. He played the psaltery on several occasions and was quite good at it, but he never sang. He preferred to drink red wine, called bear's blood, but never to excess. He simply enjoyed the wine's taste.
While Radován Karadžić was in hiding in Belgrade under the guise of Dr. Dabić, The homes of his wife and children in the Bosnian town of Pale were constantly raided and searched.
One massive roundup happened during the night. There was a large number of military and police vehicles, and even tanks and a helicopter. When we looked out of the window, we were blinded by a bright red light. It was so intense that it hurt our eyes. We were very scared.
Psychological pressure on his family was one of the methods the authorities used to compel Radovana Karadžić to surrender. In 2005, Liliana Karadžić asked her husband to do just that in a televised address.
With all my heart and soul, I beg you to give yourself up. Although it pains me greatly to have to ask you for that. It will be a sacrifice for our own sake and for the sake of our family.
Journalists put forward fantastical theories to explain why she had done it. One of them put her behavior down to feigned jealousy of an invented mistress. Tabloids assigned that role to Dabić's assistant Mila Cicak. But the fact is that she first met Dr. Dabić only 2 years after Liliana's televised address.
I never had a love affair with him. We had a friendly relationship, and we worked together in this humanitarian job, if I can call it that.
Police in this country and in foreign countries knew we were not in touch. Even so, we were often searched. They would break into our home and take us in for questioning. My son spent 10 days in custody. I was under pressure from various foreign services. They threatened to arrest me and my daughter. I asked Radovan to give himself up because I saw no other solution, persuading them to leave at least my children alone. I thought that price would set my son free.
The search for Karadžić was conducted both in built-up cities and difficult mountainous regions. The yellow press regularly churned out conflicting reports concerning his whereabouts. But in fact, he had never left the Serbian capital. His friends regularly received letters from him. Moreover, he himself put them into their post boxes.
It was past midnight when I received a call from a man. I didn't recognize his voice. He asked me to examine my letterbox in the entrance hall. I went downstairs, opened the box, and found a CD there. When I opened it on my computer, I saw a novel written by Karadžić.
After the war, Miroslav Tohol, the ex-information minister of the Serbian Republic, founded a publishing house in Belgrade. He published a novel by his former workmate and friend. Moreover, the publication fetched a small profit.
Nearly every book published by us is in this shop, except for books written by Karadžić. This means they are sold out. This is very good.
Each day, Dr. Dabić took the number 73 bus to the fertility clinic for work. He found the route very convenient. It took him from 30 to 50 minutes to get there. Like many times before, on July 18th, 2008, Dr. Dabić boarded a number 73 bus outside his home. And it seemed just like any other trip to work.
Two sturdily built young men had approached him in the bus and were standing side by side with him. Sometime later, another two men got on the bus. They said to him, "You must get off and follow us." They took him out of the bus, bundled him into a car, pulled a woolen cap over his eyes, and drove him to some place he knew nothing about. 3 days passed before he was put in a court jail and told that he had been arrested.
The arrest of Radovana Karadžić in 2008 stirred the Balkans. The Muslims rejoiced. But massive protest actions involving thousands of people were held in the streets of Serbian towns. Today, some Serbian youth organizations still take advantage of any pretext to demonstrate their support for Karadžić. Even sporting events are politically charged. Quite often, fans will chant the name of Radovana Karadžić rather than cheer on their favorite team.